Alright, hey, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about circles, and in particular we're going to be focusing on using the circle proportion to find different aspects about, say, something like the area of a sector, or using the area of a sector to find some other part of the circle. The circle proportion basically says this: in any circle, the following triple proportion must hold true. The measure of the central angle divided by 360 has to equal the ratio of the area of the sector compared to the total area, that's your pi r squared, and it also has to be the same as the ratio of the length of the arc compared to the entire circumference. Don't make much sense? Put it to you this way. It means that all the different little parts of the circle take up the same percentage of the circle as, say, the central angle takes up of the total 360 degrees in that circle. Still confused? Don't worry about it. The real use of this thing is to be able to say that, hey, look, if you got information about one part of the circle, guess what? You could probably use that to say something about any other part of the circle that you care about. That's how we're going to use it here today. As it says in the writing, to solve for anything, determine the appropriate fractions you want to use, replace the provided information from the problem itself, cross-multiply, solve for the missing parts, boom, move on with your life. Today in particular, we're going to be focusing on these two right here. In other words, all of our problems are going to come down to filling in the different blank spots in these two fractions here. So without further ado, let's take a look at some examples, shall we? This problem is something you might call a best case scenario. We're trying to find the area of the sector when we're given the value of the central angle and the length of the radius shown right here. We're going to take these two things, plug them into their respective spots in the fractions, cross multiply and solve. Have a nice day. So our central angle is 120. We put that over 360. Set that equal to our other fraction. We don't know the area of the sector, so we're going to make that x. And then we plug in 5 for the radius, aka pi times 5 squared. We'll do any arithmetic from the fractions here to make our lives a little bit simpler for the cross multiplication. The only place for that is the denominator of this fraction. 5 times 5 is 25 times pi. Now we cross multiply. This is going to give us our next step here. 120 times 25 pi equals, technically it's 360 times x, but let's just call it 360x. Cut out the middleman, right? Do your multiplication on the left. That's going to give you 9,424 and 78 hundredths equals 360x. You want to get x by itself? Go ahead and divide everything by 360. This is going to give us our final answer, which is 26 and 18 hundredths. That is the value of x, and that represents the area of the sector in highlighted white there. Beautiful. Let's move on. All right, a little bit more work this time. We want to find the measure of the central angle given the area of the shaded region. This time, the area of the shaded region here is 153 hundredths. So we got that extra thing to plug into the equation. We also have a radius of 12. Let's go plug those things in. We don't know what the angle is. We're going to call it x. That goes over 360. Set it equal to, area of the sector was given to us as 153 hundredths. Divided by, now we plug in our radius. We're going to get pi times 12 squared. We'll do our arithmetic in the bottom of that right-hand fraction right there. This is going to give us the next step of x over 360 equals 153 hundredths over 144 pi. All right, now we're going to cross multiply. Easy peasy, right? This gives us a next step of 144 pi, there we go, times x is equal to 360 times 153 hundredths. So we'll do all our multiplication out. 144 times pi, let's see what that gives us. We get 452, 39 hundredths x equals 360 times 153 hundredths gives us 36,190 and 8 tenths. We want to get x by itself. Let's go ahead and divide by the number in front of it, 452 and 39 hundredths. These cross out over here, and that's going to give us a final answer of x is approximately 80. Now remember, x is an angle here. We got to honor that. So let's make sure that we say it. X is equal to 80 degrees. All right. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at one last example. Okay, so this last example asks us to find the length of the radius when the area of the shaded region here is given by 16 and 76 hundredths. We're also given the central angle is 30 degrees. So we're going to take these two values, plug them into our fraction, solve for the missing variable. Central angle is 30 degrees. We put that over 360. The area of this sector is 16 and 76 hundredths. And then we have pi times, well, we don't know the radius, so we're going to call it pi r squared. Now, since there's nothing to simplify here, let's go ahead and cross multiply right away. This is going to give us 30 times pi r squared. Squared? What's wrong with these twos right now, man? Then we get 360 times 16 and 76 hundredths. We'll do all our multiplication out. 30 times pi is 94.2 r squared. And then 360 times 16.76 is 6033 and 6 tenths. We'll divide everything by the number in front of r squared. That's 94.2. 94 and 2 tenths if you want to be official about it. That's going to give us r squared is equal to 64 and 5 hundredths. Now we want to get rid of that squared, all right? Don't be doing something silly like dividing everything by r. You take the square root. When you take the square root, it cancels out the squared. See? And then all that work gets us to a final answer of r is equal to 8. Done. Alright, kiddies, moral to the story here again. Figure out which fractions you need to use from the proportion up above. There's 3 of them. You got information about the angle and about the sector. Use the fractions with the angle and the sector in there. Makes a lot of sense, right? Once you got those things figured out, then you're going to plug in the information that you get from the problem. Once you have that, then you're going to cross multiply and solve for the variable. That's going to give you the piece that you're missing. Alright, I think I'm just about sick of this, so I'm out of here. Later.